I'm live. Yay. That's one place. Islam. All right, let's see what's going on the ground. Islam, peace, peace, peace. Just logging in on the other place. Trying to spread the good news widely, right? Okay. Start a live. Just a second. You are now live. Islam. I'm good to go. Once I figure out how to put this thing without messing myself up. There we go. That's even better. All right. Okay, there we go. Islam. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. We are here, we are here, we are here. Islam. I am Sister Tahida S. Najiola L. Please call me Zahra Bey. Um, Back again for another one. I made it. Islam is day 6 of the 77 days of elevation. You know, the Moorish trying to get some stuff going for ourselves, you know, because one of the, what is it? One of the artifacts of a civilization is like you got your own land, your own language, your flag, culture, you know. So what do Moors have that hasn't been imposed upon us, right? So Islam to those on Islam study more at YouTube and who's that? The Moorish American and Divine Aspiration. Thank y'all again. If y'all don't, I don't want to go through why I'm here and why I'm on both of these, but thank all of you all for being here. I really appreciate that. Peace and love. All right, I'm gonna just jump right into it because it's a approaching full moon in Capricorn, right? And you've probably been feeling it already because the moon is detriment in Capricorn because it rules Cancer. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I don't want to get ahead of my very well organized notes, right? Because I respect y'all time, so I take the time. I take my time to give you something that shows that I respect your time. So anyway, yeah, this full moon is going to be a doozy. All right. So introduce myself. Again, I'm Sister Tahida Najiola Bey or L of CalifaMedia.com and a bunch of other places. You can find all the links at Linktree/Califa Media. Everything's up there. Please, if you're on YouTube, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Instagram, please share it out. Thank y'all very much. I'm gonna try to get right into it. So announcements, because I want to focus on astrology today because it's kind of like a bonanza day, right? Because of not only where the moon is, the sign, but what it is and what it's making aspects to. So, we'll see how this go, right? But announcements, get that out the way first. Today is day 6 of the 77 days of elevation. So if you haven't started yet, it's no problem. I put out a previous post about how maybe we can use the first 7 days to let Moors figure out what they want to do, find out about it, and then we officially, everybody's like, nope, we full bar on the 8th day. So the first 7 days you take to get in, and the 8th day we begin, which is kind of cool because the 7th day is a full moon, right? So the 8th day we'll be harvesting participants, I guess. Yay, right? Okay, so to that end, Califa Media has launched a new website, CopperStoc.com. That's copper, like the metal, copper, stock, STOC, or stock, STOK, but not stock, STOCK. All right, if that makes sense. But again, that'll be linked in the Linktree/Califa Media. Okay, the other announcement. The Canaan Land Moors are having they're journeying to what's known as New Brunswick to visit the Eel River Bar First Nation. Because they got Moors up there, or they have people that have been classified as First Nations, who are like, yeah, thanks for the crumbs, we want our pie back. So they're going up there to show them some support. And if you would like to support, we have T-shirts available right now. 100% of proceeds goes to, I guess, the cost of the shirt and to help offset some of the expenses of their travels, because that's a long journey. All right. There's details on CalifaMedia.com. CanaanlandMoors.com, and mercycharities.com. That's MRCIcharities.com. Or not com, because that's an organization for Moors. You know, we're supporting each other. We're taking care of one another. So if you want to like find out more about that, please be sure to look check it out. All right. The t-shirts. I forgot about the t-shirts. Let me not forget to mention, because that kind of matters. They're 100% cotton t-shirts, right? Made in-house by self. All right. Trying to close ranks, right? Do as much as we can in-house as we can to try to keep as much of that dollar actually, in-house. So yeah, those shirts would be 100%, except for the shirt itself. Yeah, designed, printed, pressed, in-house under a Moorish flag. All right. Okay. All right. To the astrology. Okay. Had to get this one in, right? Because this is a very special full moon. All right. It's a full moon in Capricorn, and it occurs tomorrow. If you're not watching this, today is July 13th, 2020. No, today is July 12th. It occurs on July 13th, 2022 at 12:28 p.m. Eastern. No, 12:28. I don't have time on here. Let me not skip ahead of myself. Okay. Right before that happens, there's a Venus will trine Saturn in Aquarius at 12:28 a.m. Eastern. That's important. It happens before the full moon happens. All right. And this full moon is, if I'm looking to the sides, because I'm looking at my notes, okay? This full moon is approaching a conjunction with Pluto the next day, because the moon is still full for a few days, a couple of days after, right? So this full moon is approaching a conjunction with Pluto the next day at 12:17 a.m. All right. All of this, okay. There's a T-square happening. If you don't know what a T-square is, you know what a square is, right? Like 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, right? When one of the legs is missing, that's a T-square. If you actually draw it, it looks like a T, right? Excuse me. So a T-square is when you have at least an opposition and then another planet squaring that opposition. That's a T-square, right? Then there's a T-square between the Moon-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. Okay, let me start with, it's a cardinal T-square. Okay, so all the signs that I'm going to say are going to be cardinal. Now you can just focus on the planets. So if you don't know what the cardinal signs are, that's you should know this, Moors. That's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, so now I can just talk about the planets. So the T-squares between the Moon and Pluto in Capricorn, right? So let's make Capricorn 10th house. Okay, Moon and Pluto in Capricorn, right? The Sun directly opposite in Cancer, right? And then right there, right, I'm trying my best, is Jupiter and Chiron conjuncting in Aries. All right. So that's a T-square. All right. And that's what we're going to be talking about right now. I'm going to be talking about right now. So currently the moon is trining Mars. That's why I scheduled this for this time. Right now, the moon is coming out, is a separating trine to Mars. By separating, that means it came in, they conjuncted exactly, and now it's separating away. So you got the approach, the actual conjunction, and then the separation. So right now, that happened earlier today. So this is the separation of a moon trine Mars, right? So you can feel secure in expressing your anger, your aggression, right? That's just based on moon and Mars. This is not talking about where it is in your chart, right? So right now the moon in Capricorn is trining Mars in Taurus. That's correct. I would be careful because since it's in earth signs, whatever you do, if you pop off, you might break something, like physically break something, cause somebody to do something or whatever, and you might not be able to take it back. It might be long lasting because of the earth aspect, right? I'm not going to get too much into that. And Jupiter is approaching a square. The moon is approaching a square to Jupiter in about 20 minutes. It's going to square Jupiter. That's why I planned it between the Moon-Mars conjunction. That's how I do it. The Moon-Mars conjunction and the Moon square aspect with Jupiter, because I like conjunctions, I like trines. I don't like squares and oppositions that much, right? So I try to get in between them wherever I can. So saying that, this is an opportune time because of all of this earthy energy. Since I'm in between those two energies I just described, this is an opportune time for a cathartic moment. If you don't know what cathartic is, look it up. All right, this is a cathartic moment because this moon has been kicking my butt. And I'll explain to you why as we go on, right? So the full moon, it occurs July 13th, 2022 at 2:38 p.m. Eastern, all right? And it will be occurring at 21 degrees, 21 minutes of Capricorn, all right? Yeah, remember that's, if you want to like pull up your chart right now and look wherever 21 degrees falls in a cardinal sign, you'll be able to see where it's going to be affecting your chart. All right. And you'll be able to like, it'll make more sense as we go along, but you can pull up your chart right now and look for 21 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. All right. Okay. So just for some, you know how it is when, at least when I write up legal documents, I like to start with a memorandum. So I'm not just going to be talking and we both working off of two separate different sets of definitions. So here's my memorandum for this, right? So what is the moon? All right. Moon is mind, emotion. Oh, disclaimer, this is all tropical astrology, not sidereal. Okay. So what is moon? Moon is mind, emotions, home, privacy, nurturing, women and mothers, specifically mothers, right? Mother's milk. Your nationality is ruled by the moon, right? Because the motherland is ruled by the fourth house, right? Which rules the sign of Cancer, which rules rapid changes because of how fast it moves around the zodiac, right? Every 28 days, it starts a new cycle, right? Especially emotional, okay? What is Capricorn? Capricorn is structure, like bones, right? Boundaries like skin and the rings of Saturn. So if you've been like having, aches and pains, even, you ain't been having those aches and pains, now all of a sudden they're showing up, or you have like breakouts or something going on. That's probably due to this approaching. It's going to flare up around tomorrow and then for the 3 days after, because you should have been feeling it for 3 days before, or since yesterday. 3 days before the full moon and then 3 days after the full moon is when you really, really feeling it, right? Especially with stuff like this, all right? But anyway, so 10th house, structure, boundaries, like skin, the rings of Saturn, right? 10th house, social prominence, especially governmental, right? Status quo, structure, stop. Notice a trend? Wherever you hear that's usually representing by Saturn. And if you think about it, it represents something that you've ceased, right? Sit, stop moving, right? Stop moving. Structure, it's something to build upon because it ain't moving, right? Like status quo. That's a real good way to think of anything related to Saturn, all right? Excuse me. You can kind of use it for squares too, all right? It also rules heights and falls because it's the 10th house, right? And what happens with with every climb, you got to come back down, right? That's just everything that goes up got to come back down. It's just how it works, right? Elders, swarthy people. This is all the stuff that Capricorn rules. Actually, I'll say Capricorn / Saturn, right? But heights and falls, elders, swarthy people, like darker skinned. You know what swarthy means. Karma and karmic lessons, right? Steady progress, reward for hard work without taking shortcuts, right? And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is currently in Aquarius, which is also a Saturn ruled sign with ancient astrology. I don't really use the outer planets because I can't see them. That's it, right? But I respect them and I will throw them in just because I know other people use it, right? So yeah, Saturn right now is in Aquarius, and that Saturn is ruling this full moon. If you don't know what a dispositor is, whatever sign a planet is in, the dispositor is the natural ruler of that sign. So in this case, the full moon is going to be in Capricorn. So Saturn is dictating to the moon during this period. All right. Yeah. And that will matter later. Okay. So full moon. Take a little sip of water. So okay, full moon is again July 13th. That's tomorrow, 2022 at 2:38 p.m. Eastern at 21 degrees 21 minutes of Capricorn. Dang, I didn't even throw in the degrees thing. I'm not gonna mess with that. We'll see if we got time for it, because that might be fun. Especially because the video to describe the degrees theory that actually works. One, the channel it was on got hijacked and deleted. It's just gone. And two, the guy that made the video is dead. So yeah, if you got that video from me and you happen to have a copy, please send it to califamedia@gmail.com. Thank you. I will reward you handsomely, right? Anyway, excuse me. So what is a full moon? Full moons represent culmination, harvest, and ending, all right? You can feel the effects of a full moon 3 days before. Well, this full moon, because it's a super full moon. It's closer to the earth right now, right? You can feel it 3 days before and 3 days after the full moon. So you probably started feeling it yesterday, Monday. Yesterday was Monday at the time of this, right? Probably started feeling it Monday, right? What was that? July 11th. Okay. 7/11. Yeah, that was a really, wow. That was, I was feeling kind of tight that day. Anyway, it was still a good day though. That's something. Okay. So the moon in Capricorn is, pulling that all together, moon in Capricorn is grounded emotions, right? Grounded Capricorn, right? Moon emotions. Why is this thing going off? I am not even moving. Anyway, so yeah, it's grounded emotions, right? Which can be a good thing to give you clarity on a situation, right? It's like saying, yeah, I'm in it. I feel that. I'm aware of the emotions, right? But because it's still a feminine sign, right? But it's directly opposite of where it wants to be. If you're looking at it from like a blank chart, like Aries as the ascendant, it's right at the top of the chart. The moon is right at the top of the chart. It does not like being at the top of the chart. The sun is at the bottom of the chart. What was that? The sun does not like being at the bottom of the chart. Okay. So that's why it's kind of rough, right? And then throw in on the square and all this is Jupiter, right? In Aries. So it's like it's inflaming it, right? Everything Jupiter touches, it expands, right? It's unreasonable, that kind of thing, right? But it will be giving you clarity and maybe insecurity about something that's ungrounded, because it grounds your emotions, right? So you being grounded in your emotion makes you able to take a breath and look around you and be like, this ain't working. I've been sitting in this situation the whole time, but I've been so mired in the emotional part that I allowed that to take away from the reality. Because, it's Capricorn, it's reality structure. So it's like, dang, all it is there's really, if you look at it, it's probably nothing really there, right? And then once you realize that, it's probably gonna hurt, because it's an opposition, and then this thing over here squaring it, and then let's throw Pluto up in there to make it even worse, right? To make it even more intense, right? So, because if you subscribe to that, I'll just throw it in there if you subscribe to it. But anyway, so these grounded emotions will give you a minute to see ungrounded situations or people, right? Or unstable, right? Because Capricorn, unstable situations or people. And again, it might hurt because Chiron is involved in that, which you can actually see. You can see Chiron with a telescope, right? a basic telescope. But anyway, it's the wounded healer. you'll never learn, like really heal it. But as long as you can see it, you can deal with it. You can mitigate the suffering, so to speak, right? And throw in Pluto again, which rules suffering. So anyway, oh, real quick, I'm gonna start to give some clarity on the Capricorn moon. There's a really cool astrologer. He channels, right? He's really good though. His name is Esoteric Sky, and I'm just gonna play a couple of minutes of his video about Capricorn moon because he describes it like way better than I can. While I turn off the AC.
So, firstly, just a little bit about this moon every single year.
I hope y'all can hear that.
Full moon in Capricorn, of course, is a debilitated moon. The moon is debilitated in Capricorn and Scorpio. So this moon always
I hope y'all can hear that.
Gives us a greater understanding about where we're having any type of debilitated emotions, what we're
it's
feeling,
only a couple minutes.
And is it a valid feeling? I find that the full moon in Capricorn always asks us to validate our feelings, validate our ideas, and to certainly not be in any kind of false reality, any kind of negative spiral of feelings that aren't going to get us anywhere. With full moon in Capricorn, we have to really see where our feelings are perhaps cutting off our progress, or where our emotions or habitual thinking cycles, especially the ones that are intuitive or coming from the gut, where they are not any longer out for our best interest, but are perhaps some kind of chaotic coping mechanism. So always this time of the year, and some of you might see, especially, I mean, this depends on what sign you are, but I find that for a lot of people, the months of July and August, but especially July, can be a more chaotic time of the year because this full moon in Capricorn, especially if you're a lunar person and you have a very active lunar energy in your chart, what it does is it shows what doesn't work anymore. It doesn't allow us to have these false ideas of comfort. It really cuts through the BS. Okay, it really cuts through any type of attachments that aren't healthy. So, for example, if you have a codependent relationship, the full moon in Capricorn oftentimes.
Basically, because my moon, personally, my moon conjuncts, I might have mentioned it last time, is conjunct Saturn, right? So that's kind of like having a moon in Capricorn or a moon in, actually it's more like having a moon in Aquarius because it's a moon Saturn conjunction in Leo. So it's kind of like having a moon in Aquarius. And my mantra for that placement is funk your feelings, get on with it. Basically, right? And though I actually looked at a video, what's her name? Dr. Honey. She's so cute. She's a little, I'm old enough to be her mother, so I say little, right? So, but she's really good. She's a good astrologer, right? And she has her moon in Capricorn. And she said, what did she say was about it? Oh, a lot of disappointment, right? Just because the moon rules nurturing and comfort, think, a bowl of vegan chicken soup, non-chicken soup, right? And this thing is in the opposite sign, so that you ain't getting that. You're not getting cuddles and nurturing. Get on with it. Get to work, right? You don't have time for that. Because Saturn also rules chronology, chronos, time, right? So yeah, I'm extremely familiar with disappointment, all right? But thank goodness, I'm past the age of my Saturn square. So actually right now I'm going through my Saturn opposition. And even if it might be there, just because I'm so used to the energy of Saturn, it's like they say, yeah, Saturn lets you go. I don't know if it lets you go more than you just know how to, you go numb. I don't know. That's just in my experience. Okay. But yeah, that's what he had to say about that. Okay. So moving on, the moon conjunct Pluto the next day on July 14th, 2022 at 12:17. I'm saying that because it's approaching. So, and I'll be back when the moon is going into Aquarius, right? So I'm just saying, okay, what's going to go on between then and now, right? Or now and then. So the moon is going to conjunct Pluto the next days, which is why. So the full moon happens on the 13th. That's tomorrow, a Wednesday, July 13th. And then the next day, early in the morning at 12 a.m., the moon is conjuncting Pluto. All right. So you're going to be feeling that energy because it's a full moon. So it's having a bigger effect, right? Um, and again, it's a super moon, so the conjunction energy is already in effect, right? And the cards that I thought represented this very well are the Death card because of the Scorpio aspect of it, with Pluto being involved, right? And the Devil card because of Capricorn being involved, right? So this is a transformation on an emotional level, where you have to let go of something that you probably manifested, because Saturn rules manifestation, right? You all of that work, and now I can show you what I've done, what the results of all my work, right? Because Sagittarius, make that the first house. Capricorn is the gain of Sagittarius. So what have I believed in? What have I worked up onto then? Here's my reward, right? So this is a transformation that will happen, all right? Because of the whole karmic aspect of it, because it's involving, and then the Jupiter being thrown into it. It's like it's a lesson, right? It's some big messed up lesson that's probably gonna hurt, right? But if you if you read your horoscope every day, you've probably been like I feel something coming. Let me check my scope, or let me just sit back and watch, which is probably a good idea. Of something to do right now. All right. Because usually this is a situation that's begging to die. All right. That's how I look at it. You got to let it go. All right. Be like Elsa. All right. Moving on. Excuse me. The T-square that's going on between the moon and Capricorn, right? Which will also be conjunct Pluto if you subscribe to Pluto. The sun in Cancer, and squaring both of those. So the moon in Capricorn and Pluto will be opposing the sun in Cancer. All right. And then challenging both of those is Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. All right. So what does this look like? All right. And what might this look like? Right. Something you should have been gotten rid of. All right. It really should have ended, or the process to end it should have begun back during the new moon in Capricorn on January 2nd. All right. So when I was writing this up, I'm like, let me look at my calendar, because I keep a journal. I keep a journal. All right. So I actually look back and be like, yep, I see it. So think back to January 2nd, 2022, back at the new moon in Capricorn, where you should have started the process, or just stopped something completely, right? Because of the stuff, right? Another way to recognize it will be that it's either a situation or a person, because what else is there, right? And this could be, I'm dealing with the moon, so this is extremely subjective. This is your stuff. I cannot tell you what it is for you, all right? But hey, we got time. I don't know how long I've been on here. I'll tell you what it is for me, right? But anyway, so it's something you should have been gotten rid of. How do you know? Because you probably already knew this ain't no good. This is toxic, right? And then other people or situations have been validating what you know is messed up about it, right? And I'll get into the details later. I ain't gonna stop right now. But if it's making sense, it's making sense. So again, they would have been showing you these cracks since the new moon on January 2nd. All right. And because of the whole Jupiter conjuncting Chiron in Aries, right? Chiron is an unhealed wound that you just learn to live with. You can never really heal it, right? You might be able to distract yourself from it, but you can never really heal it. This is an Aries. So this is going to be, physical, probably in your head somewhere, not mentally, that kind of thing. And it's going to be fire. It's Aries, right? So it's something this is how you can recognize it. It's something you've been dealing with that you should have started the process of ending back in January, that's emotionally aggravating to the point of suffering. All right. Because of the Jupiter and Aries conjuncting Chiron. Because you just know, Jupiter, that you'll feel the moon better if you let it go. Chiron, just learn, it's something I wanted it. I actually asked for it. And now that I have it, it's helping me recognize what I don't want. You can think of it like that. That's how I like to look at it. Where's the silver lining, right? And Chiron helps you. You'll feel better if you let it go and you admit the situation is crap. It really is. But you're the one stuck on it, right? You're the one. It's like you're getting all these signs, but you won't let it go. So this is a full moon in Capricorn. Like I like it. I mean, I just got the image of a sledgehammer because you're taking down some structure that's like, yep, that's it. This is it. Otherwise, let's continue, right? So some keywords you can look for with this. If you don't know the situation right now yet, here goes some keywords you can look for in the situation and or the person, right? Inconsistency, inconsideration, lack of reciprocity, lack of consideration. I guess that's inconsideration. Lack of actual versus literal support. Actual as in act versus literal support. All right. Suffering, and it's karmic. All right, because of it's in Capricorn, Saturn, which rules karma. All right. And then especially if depending on where it is in your chart, that'll even tell you like, okay, to what level it's karmic for everybody, right? But to what level depends on where it's occurring in your chart. So, okay, advice for the moon and Pluto. So advice for the T-square, go to the missing leg of the square, right? I should have brought a visual. And I got all this stuff, but it's stuck to the wall. But anyway, okay, so you have the moon at the top of the chart where it doesn't want to be. The sun at the bottom of the chart where it doesn't want to be. All right. They're both in signs they don't really like. You got a fire planet in a water sign and a very private planet exposed at the top of the chart. And then right over there squaring and challenging and messing with it and poking at it is Jupiter and this pain planet known as Chiron, right? So how do you get out? The escape hatch is Libra because it's a cardinal T-square. So there's something happening in Aries, something happening in Cancer, something happening in Capricorn. All those points are blocked. So how do you get out? Libra. There's nothing going on in Libra right now. All right. So you got to look at what house does Libra rule in your chart, right? And then by what mechanism, right? Physically, let's look at the planet. What planet does Libra rule? Venus. So because, like I just said. And look for where Libra is in your chart because that'll tell you how to get out, right? And then Venus, wherever that is in your chart right now, that'll give you some clues of either who to contact or what to do, right? And right now it's in Gemini. So it's kind of trining the exit point. Venus, the way the planet that helps you get out is trining the exit point, all right? And it's just emotional. It will pass in a month, all right? When the moon moves into yet another Saturn ruled sign, and then you got to start this process all over with some other stuff going on, right? So you might want to, it's like winter's coming for real, right? So yeah, Venus in Gemini is going to trine Saturn in Aquarius at 12:28 a.m. Eastern. Oh, I didn't put what date though. Okay, well that's good news. I'll get to that. Okay, so advice for the Moon-Pluto conjunction: get rid of any dead weight, right? Because it's a full moon, a harvest, right? A cleansing. So getting rid of something or pulling something up, right? And Pluto represents death, dead weight, right? And they're meeting up in the karmic sign of Capricorn, right? And it's aggravated by the ruler of all of this going on, the stuff in Capricorn going on. It's aggravated by Saturn, the ruler, being in yet another sign ruled by Saturn. So it's like double Saturn, right? It's something karmic going on. But you know what it is, right? And if you've been having trouble letting it go, that's what a karmic situation is. You're having trouble letting it go, right? That's your test. Let it go, right? You're probably, since it's so karmic, all this stuff going on with Saturn, is you're probably dropping something from a past life or a few past lives, all right? Because again, Saturn rules karma. All right, advice for the Venus in Gemini, trine Saturn in Aquarius on the same day. And it's on July 13th, so that's tomorrow, at 12:28 a.m. Before, what is that? So the full moon happens at 2 p.m. This trine happens at 12 a.m. Right? So it's like you're being set up. It's like some flag. There go the flags, right? Come this, the guys at the airport, come this way, come this way. So this happens right before this messed up full moon is perfected, right? So how do you use this as your surfboard to get around all this emotional stuff that's about to happen? It's a day of sacrifices and compromises, okay? So Venus trining Saturn usually represents the sudden, especially it's going to be sudden because it's involving Aquarius, which rules sudden events, right? And it's just going to occur to you because these are two mental signs, right? It's going to be the sudden realization that something's just never going to work. And again, you probably knew back in January, this ain't going to work. I can get it to work. If you don't stop it, there's another Saturn ruled moon coming up next month to either reward you for letting it go or to hurt you even worse for holding on to it. And I'll get to that because that involves Venus too. All right. So right now, Venus is helping you get out of this, right? So if you're not getting it, this is how you can recognize it. So it's a day of sacrifice. It's early in the morning, right? And you can start thinking about it right now, but you probably already know what it is. If you're not getting Venus, stop. Saturn, stop giving. If you're not getting, stop giving. It's real simple, right? And it's a trine. So not only it's a mental trine. So not only is it going to be like obnoxiously clear to you, you'll be unbothered by it because it's mental. It's not emotional. So this will set you up to like this mental thing is like, this is just a lesson, right? And I'll get to why. It might be a major lesson, right? That's probably why you're having trouble letting it go, because it's like trying to peel off lifetimes of this, not letting this, whatever this is, because it's so karmic, right? So again, if you're not getting, stop giving, right? I would describe this as a 4 of Cups day because I'm a Libra rising, okay? And that's getting ready to lead into the examples of how this works. So I always believe there must be balance. There must be balance, all right? So in order for someone to be going through this, somebody or something, so someone is going through this because it's the full moon, it's got to involve emotion. So somebody is going through something with either a situation or a person. It doesn't have to be a person, right? Where it's just going to be a missed opportunity. And whoever's doing the suffering, whoever won't let go, you'll be straight if you let go, because it's a 4 of Cups day, right? It's their lost opportunity. If you know what a 4 of Cups looks like, it's like, I figured it out. I see what it is. I see what it is. Here, I finally got. Too late. 4 of Cups, right? I let go, and because I let go, because I was supposed to do this, right? I was supposed to let go. I will be handsomely rewarded on the next lunation, which is also karmic, right? Handsomely rewarded, right? Again, it might be a blessing in disguise. It's going to be something you should have been let go over the last 6 months. You did it in the last few days. you've probably been getting hints that, yeah, let me get the shovel, right? For real. Yep. Probability outcome. Surprising, tangible gain. All right. This lunation, this one, the moon in Capricorn, right? When the moon is going to be in Capricorn, the planet that's ruling this lunation, Saturn, will be second from there, right? So if you do what you're supposed to do and cut off, harvest, whatever, culminate, end, wrap up, your gain will be something that's going to be a surprising, Aquarius, tangible result that you earn. You're gonna be like, I earned this. It'll be really clear, right? And it'll be probably directly connected to what you let go, right? Because you let it go. You manifested something because you thought you knew what you wanted, right? And now here comes something. It's like, nope, this ain't working. Why does it take you 6 months to let it go? You slow. No offense, that's what this is for. But at least the whole the Venus-Saturn trine is helping you with it. It's a trine to the planet that's ruling this whole thing, right? Everything's going to eventually report to that Saturn in Aquarius, right? And it's trining Venus. So that's sweetness, mental sweetness, right? To help you get over this emotional jacked upness, right? So anyway, so Aquarius is the gain of Capricorn, because if you make Aquarius the first house, if you make Capricorn the first house, Aquarius will be the second house. So that will be its gain. All right. So if you cut off whatever gangly parts that need to go, and you may see, if you cut those gangly parts off, you may see a manifested reward by the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th, 2022. All right, that's almost a month, 28 days, right? That same day, the full moon, this is why I said Venus is helping you right now. And if you don't do what you need to do, Venus is going to turn on you, right? This is what I mean. So the same day that there is a full moon in Aquarius, another karmic sign, right? Venus moves into Leo. The directly opposite. So there will be a Venus-Saturn moon opposition. So Venus will be opposing Saturn conjuncting the moon. Well, by sign. I'm going by sign, not by degree, right? What does that mean? If you haven't done the work to prepare for this by letting go of whatever you're supposed to be letting go of right now, it's going to be something, an unrequited something. And if you don't know what unrequited is, it's not a good thing. You might want to look into it, right? Moon opposite Venus indicates a great need for love and affection, but also some difficulty in achieving this. And it's karmic, right? Karmic stuff is, don't play with it, right? You know what you got to let go, especially if you claim to be, a Moor, especially if you claim to be a Moor and you in tune, you be filling stuff out. And it's just like, right? You just got to act upon it. All right. Okay. So how does this affect you? I'm doing pretty good. Take a drink. How does this affect you? Where does 21 degrees of any cardinal sign fall into your chart? And I use a 3-degree orb because it's the moon. So that will be what? 18 degrees, between 18 degrees and 24 degrees of any cardinal sign, because it's going to be a T-square, right? And then what house does the moon rule in your chart? What aspect is this moon making to your moon? What house does Saturn rule in your chart? And what house does Libra rule in your chart? I know that was, thank you. Somebody said I'm pretty. Thank you. I got to start reading these. Islam, yeah, send me your chart, Yoni Melanin. I'll do your chart for you. No problem. Venus in Aries. Yeah, my Venus is in Aries too. Yeah, you again, look to see what degree it is, but by sign, I'll get to that because my Venus is in Aries too. So there you go. You get a real life example. And let me go and move on because I don't want this thing to run out on me. Okay. So again, where's 21 degrees, 3 degrees on either side. So like 18 to 24 degrees, I guess, of any cardinal sign, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn in your chart. Find those locations, all of them. All right. What house does the moon rule in your chart? What aspect or what angles is this moon in Capricorn making to your natal moon? Right. And this is all tropical astrology. What house does Saturn rule in your chart? And what house does Libra rule in your chart? You can go deeper into that, but no. That's just like, the deeper you go, the more confused, and you got to be finding your way back to how I get here. No. So we're going to keep it just around the moon, okay? So for me, real life examples. Yeah. That's why I said there's going to be a bonanza. Where does 21 degrees, so to answer these questions, where does 21 degrees of any cardinal sign fall in my chart with a 3-degree orb? My 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th house. So if you don't know what those are, that's like the cardinal wheel, all right? But I'm a go-getter, if y'all haven't noticed. So I use it to great effect, but then stuff like this comes along. So it's just like, hey, I got a bill for you. That's all right. I'm good. So it's in my 1st house. So my way out is through my 1st house because I'm a Libra rising, right? Which is kind of cool, right? I like that. But there's a little trip up. So my way out is through my 1st house because Libra is the missing leg of this square, right? It's the escape hatch. Aries rules the 1st house, right? Because Aries rules the 1st house. What's going on in my Aries rules house in directly across in the 7th? So my 1st house is ruled by Libra. My 7th house is ruled by Aries. My chart is flipped, right? What's going on? So remember I said look for 21 degrees of any cardinal sign in your chart? I have Venus at 19 degrees of Aries, Mars at 20 degrees of Aries, and the South Node at 22 degrees of Aries, all in the 7th house. All right. And right now, Jupiter and Chiron are up in there making a mess. All right. Because it's South Node. South Node is all that stuff. I love how Ann Ortley, I love her. You should go subscribe to her channel. She's amazing. She's a Virgo, very technical. If you like technical astrology, subscribe to Ann Ortley. All right. Cute little fat old lady. I don't want to call her fat or old, but she's so cute. All right. But she says, think of the South Node as a big sucking sound. So I'm letting go of a whole bunch of stuff. And I know what it is. I actually know what it is. So it's kind of cool because I've been watching this coming, right? It's like riding. That's why I'm on here today. It's like it's riding the wave. Like, when you surf, right? Or whatever. When you surf, do you wait until the wave is on you? Or do you look for the wave and look and see which one you can catch and how's the best way to ride that mug so it don't just fall on top of you, right? That's what this is. So I've been watching this because I'm like, great, right? Let me continue. What house does Moon rule in my chart? The 10th house. What aspect is the transiting moon making to my moon? It is semi-sextile, right? So semi-sextile, you have the opposition. So in my case, my moon is in Leo, so the opposition is Aquarius. The semi-sextiles are the 2 signs on either side, so Capricorn and Pisces, right? So since it's in Capricorn, it's a semi-sextile or a quincunx, right? And it's a very irritating annoyance. It's just like something like, like when it's like you got to pinch nerves, like you just try to work it out and you okay, but it's just so annoying, right? So that's what this moon is doing to my moon, right? What house does Saturn rule in my chart? The 4th house, all right? So this sun-moon opposition is going on between my house and career axis, right? And it's being challenged by people in my life that I'm dealing with from some past. I subscribe to reincarnation. Not everybody does. So I'm just saying some past. This could be somebody you grew up with. This just could be somebody you've known for a long time, like, or you've known them the longest, right? So, and since it's Saturn tied into it, it's gonna have something to do with a long time, right? But since it's connected to the South Node, right? So this is some past life stuff for me. And what house is the escape hatch in my case? Since I'm a Libra rising, 14 degrees Libra rising. I mean, talk about balance, right? And I think it's 14 and a half degrees. It's so funny, right? And so that's my escape hatch. It's myself, right? That's why I was like, it's really cool. It's on me. How much power is that, right? So the T-square theory. The T-square theory. In my case, the escape hatch is through self, right? Moon, Pluto in the 4th, Sun in the 10th. Yeah, that's messed up. So I have to transform something going on in my home life that's being affected. Light's being shown because the moon is in my home life. The light's being shown with something related to my career, right? I know exactly what it is, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I know exactly what it is, right? And I should have gotten rid of it in January and went back in January and left in January and still been trying to let go of this mess since January. I bet you I'll let go of it right now, you know. Shoot, I'll let go of it 2 days ago. Probably before that. I just didn't notice it. I had to touch the hot stove to see, is this, I think that, I'm not going to go into it. I touched the hot stove and it was confirmed that it was still hot. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Yeah, I already said all this. Yep. So conclusion, get rid of something karmic. You're going to know what it is because you've been trying to get rid of it for a while. And you're probably not getting anything from it, right? Except a lesson. So just, get rid of something karmic. Uh-oh, I see people coming. Okay, I got to wrap this up. I see my son's giant afro in the window. It's really creepy. But anyway, okay. So, yeah, that's it. If y'all have any questions, please email them to me over the next couple of days. I'm available. You know, thank y'all for coming through. Everybody that came through, I really appreciate that. Let me see. I got to wrap it up. What you saying? Cardinal, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you all, everybody who showed up. I appreciate that. And that was a good speech. Thank you. I feel better. That was cathartic, right? Oh, I wish I could tell you what was going on with me. Instead, I'm going to show you my shirt. Like my shirt, it says seeing and knowing. I thought it was fitting for today, right? Because I've been seeing it and I know what to do. I just got to do it, right? And then what it always is, just got to do it, right? So keep your heads down. You know, it'll be okay next month if you do what you need to do. And as long as you know that you're doing what you need to do, you're opening those hands and just corking, turn into a cork, right? That's my advice. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Just stop because it's a Saturn ruled moon, right? Just stop if you don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to let it go. Don't do nothing. You'd be surprised how much happens around you when you stop interfering. Works for me. It's working for me. So y'all be cool. Islam, thank you, Study More, for being up in here. I appreciate that. Thank you all to the Moors, all the Moors. I appreciate that. And hit me up, Califa Media, gmail.com, or better yet, Linktree /Califa Media. And don't forget to go support the Candyland Moors for their Unity Peace Pipe ceremony with the New Brunswick Moors. All right. Peace. Y'all be cool. Islam. Oh, how do I end this? Peace, y'all.